Hello everyone, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. It's basically a recap of what I presented at our recent 2021 AGM as chair of Gardens Watch. I really want to thank all of our members as well as our fantastic exco for making Gardens Watch what it is today. We have had phenomenal success and I hope we're going to grow from strength to strength. I want to remind everybody that we are a voluntary community organization. And I'll repeat that, a voluntary community organization. Each of those three words being very important. A little bit about me. I am a resident of Gardens. I've been here for 13 years. My name is Nikki Essen, and I am a local business owner here too. I served on the Exco for a year before standing for the position of chair at Anthony's request. And really my contribution to this watch has been bringing a business mindset to the organization. My strengths are planning, system design, and certainly taking an idea and making it a practical reality, as well as having a good dose of fortitude in there too. So it was very important to me to take Gardens Watch into its next stage of its life cycle. I felt it was very important that Gardens Watch is an independent organization that's not reliant on any one person. I think that is very risky and it's also unsustainable. As the organization grows, you can't expect one person to be solely responsible for its success. So I wanted to provide structure as well as credibility to our watch. And this theory was tested severely when Christine announced her decision that she had left. Her and her husband were moving out of the area. Christine, as most of you know, was responsible for our cleaning project. And I certainly had many sleepless nights thinking, how are we going to manage without her? But here we are. Marie stepped in and we have to say a huge thank you to her. She really was thrown in the deep end, but we've come out the other side. Our watch is still functioning and that cleaning project is actually going from strength to strength. So looking at our journey this past year, I think I want to point out a few, what that looked like. Our Exco put our heads together and we needed to define what our vision for Gardens Watch what it is. And we see it as being offering a clean, safe, caring environment for people that live, work, or visit gardens. And our mission as Gardens Watch is to promote safety and to protect property values. So once we had our vision and our mission, we then embarked on a rebranding exercise, and we wanted to just give Gardens Watch a fresh face. And I will share my screen with you. Oops, there we go. And so basically with our new logo, we wanted to bring in the old and the new. So we used a traditional eye, and many neighborhood watches have that eye. And that eye is a caring eye. Yes, we're looking out for scollies, but we're also looking out for our neighbor. And that sense of caring is also represented by the hands that are holding that eye together. As far as the colors, we wanted to include something from our previous logo, so we stuck with the orange, but we also wanted to be able to talk to our Good News Community Instagram initiative. And so to bring in something fun and colorful there, and at least the two of them can talk to one another, as building community is a very important part of what we are trying to achieve. So once we had our new logos and we had our vision and our mission, we then needed to understand our context. We needed to understand who the role players were in our space. And we've spent the last year primarily investing in this relationship building. That's where most of our time and energy has been spent. The results are certainly not instant, and many of our efforts are only bearing fruit 8 to 12 months later. But it's been extremely valuable because these relationships really are the only way we can navigate through this broken system in which we find ourselves. And so with that in mind, I think Gardens Watch is now in a very good place. We are a fully fledged organization. We have our own culture and infrastructure. And although we are 100% dependent on teamwork and participation, not only of our exco, but of our members, we are not depending on one specific person. And this has been a very significant shift. I think most organizations start off with a Pied Piper who take an idea to a wider audience to get buy-in and support. And I really do want to say all credit to Brandon for starting the watch many years ago, and Anthony more recently for relaunching it. We definitely would not be here without their efforts. But Gardens Watch is now in a new life phase, and we have clearly defined roles and systems infrastructure in place, as well as our own specific goals, or its goals. And so we are much more than just a WhatsApp group. And so I think at this point, it's helpful to look at what exactly is Gardens Watch and what is it not, because I think we have to be very realistic with our expectations. And so Gardens Watch is a coordinated community structure that promotes safety and respect and protects property values. And we do this with our cleaning program. We also see our role as being one of liaison, as a liaison. We are the liaison between our community and the various other role players, whether it's public or private security, whether it's the City of Cape Town, or our neighboring watches in the City Bowl, and the NGOs that provide such a valuable service in all sorts of different spaces. But we also need to be a better communicator, and that's another key function of Gardens Watch. We need to keep our community informed and engaged. I also think it's very valuable to look at what we're not. And I want to highlight that we don't have any more power than you as a general member of the public. We are certainly not first responders to medical or criminal incidences. We are not trained in those very specific instances. And we are certainly not a privatized safety and security company. I've had a number of neighbors get very irate with me because they expect me to be providing them with privatized security. And Gardens Watch certainly is not that. If you need a private security company, you need to be working with a CBAR or an ADT, for instance. And while we have a very powerful cleaning program, we are not providing those municipal services of, fixing the roads or, the water drains and what have you. That is really not our function. We are there to liaise with City of Cape Town. And so with this in mind, what Gardens Watch is and what it's not, I think it makes sense to then look at what is the value proposition to you as the community. And there are three standout elements to our value proposition. One is that we offer you a clean suburb. We protect your property values because we're out there cleaning the streets Monday to Friday. We certainly do subscribe to the broken window theory, which maintains that you have a well-managed suburb and you keep the small stuff in check, and then that doesn't develop into larger, more serious problems. Secondly, we offer you a voice to engage. We have a seat at the table with SAPS. Every week, COVID notwithstanding, we are meeting with SAPS and the other security providers in the City Bowl. We also have representation at both ward forum meetings. Our area of gardens is split in between two City of Cape Town wards, and we sit on each of those ward forum meetings that convene every second month. And this offers us an ear into what decisions are being made in our area, and certainly if we've got issues that we need to raise with the City of Cape Town, this is the best forum for it, or platform to do that. We're also having a number of other conversations on other issues. So we've been involved with the conversations with social development, talking about the homelessness issue and what ideas and resources are available in that space. We have membership with CBRA, which is the City Bowl Ratepayers Association, and so we hear more about land use issues in that space. We're also listening in on what's happening with District 6, and we watch it with interest. There's some very exciting plans in the pipeline for District 6. We also obviously attend the Community Policing Forum meetings. Gardens Watch is, we report to the Community Policing Forum as such. So With that in mind, I wanted to also just share with you just a few quick examples of how this value proposition plays out in practice. Stop that for a sec. And firstly, I want to just mention the Catholic Cathedral that's opposite Parliament. They recently became a member of Gardens Watch. And while they've been struggling with rough sleepers and a problem building next door, as well as various incidents of crime and a huge amount of mess, they've been having to tackle that as an individual member of the public. And once they joined Gardens Watch, that kind of gave them more of a community structure in which to engage with those players. And I'm very happy to report that SAPS has been did a recent operation. Law enforcement's been out there a good few times in the last few weeks, as well as solid waste. And even Gardens Watch, our cleaning team, has been putting extra time and attention in that area. And so I would hope that the Catholic Cathedral really does see the value of joining Gardens Watch and becoming a member. I think Vadna and Ingrid were able to demonstrate the value of Gardens Watch very clearly with the drunk driving incident that happened towards the end of July. If you recall, they were able to put a message out on the Crime Alert group and access a whole lot of resources. In addition to that, they were able to access the community radio network, and within a few minutes, they had SAPS, Metro, the fire brigade, community medics, regular ambulance. Neighbors came out and assisted them, and it really was a fantastic response to that call for help. And again, just demonstrating that we do offer that network of varied service providers. Tame Plain is another issue that has received a lot of attention from Gardens Watch. I don't think any one person could have tackled Tame Plain in the way Gardens Watch has this last year. I am convinced that our councillor Ian McMahon has woken up at least once in a cold sweat thinking about Gardens Watch and Tame Plain. We have been on at him for months, and I'm glad to report that the fence finally got fixed 10 months later, but it is now fixed. We've been doing it in like as a tag team. Hats off to Vadna for bringing it up at his Wood Forum meetings continuously, and to Clinton for also putting huge amounts of time and effort into developing plans, possible solutions for Tame Plain. And then the fourth example, very briefly, I want to talk about our community cameras. That has been a fantastic project, and just also showing that the consolidating a response from the community really does bear fruit. We have two current installations, one in Glyn and Batencant, and another one in Maynard and Glyn, and hopefully a third one is coming up very shortly. The property owners in Sloane Square have kindly sponsored the cameras to have a look, cover the skateboard park area. So we're very excited about that. So with those quick examples, I think that demonstrates the value proposition and roughly what we've been busy with this last year. And I want to really stress that Gardens Watch is only going to work if we are a community and we work together for a shared vision. Our only superpower is that we are a consolidated voice of our community.